It's Thursday, August 10th here at the Desert Marksmen range. For those of you who just started following my range vlogs recently, you probably have not seen this range facility before. I haven't been out here in quite some time. I think almost, I would say maybe a year or so, maybe a year. First time I've been out here in quite some time, so it's been a minute. It's kind of a hassle to get out here from where I'm located. So basically my main range is West Stand Gun Club. If you add an hour travel time to what it takes for me to get to West End Gun Club, that's how long it takes me to get to Desert Marksmen range out in Palmdale. So it takes about an hour 45, give or take, depending on morning traffic, which isn't too bad. But it was really sketchy this morning. If you can see kind of behind me, you see this fog, kind of a fog rolling through. It is humid. It's actually in August, and it's only going to be in the low 80s today, but it's going to be about 60% humidity. We might have some short showers. But when I was rolling in this morning, when you get off the main freeway and then take the highway to get to this area of Palmdale, there was some like thick fog. Like I could barely see and coming in through the mountain, or once you get up to that higher elevation. For a solid 2 miles, I was doing maybe 35 miles an hour in what's listed as a 55-mile-an-hour zone. It was bad, and I was amazed people were just still trying to go downhill, and they were like barreling through, come the other way. I was pretty scared actually how thick that was. So we made it through that just fine. It cleared up after about 2 miles. But anyway, we have a fog rolling in right now. It's overcast, which is great because it's August in Palmdale. If you don't know Palmdale, it's a high desert in Southern California, and it gets hot. It gets hot, it gets windy. Today they said about 15-mile-an-hour winds. Right now it's pretty decent. And where we're located in this canyon with these I say hills around us, it does buffet us a little bit, but what that does do is it creates a swirl inside here. So your wind can vary from distance to distance out to 600 yards. It could vary. 200, 300, 400, 500, they could all be blown different ways, which isn't too bad for centerfire, but for rimfire, which I may or may not shoot today, that does cause issues. But I'm not here because I wanted to kind of true up my ballistics or true up my dope for my recently built lightweight precision rifle build in 6.5 Creedmoor. If you haven't seen that video or read the article, I'll put those links in the video description so you can check those out. But I set up targets at 300, 400, 500, and 600, put water lines on them, and then we'll just go ahead and true it up. I think at 300 it's pretty much dead on, but 300 is pretty close. Ideally you want to true up at 1,000, but I can't do 1,000 easily. Out here we technically can't. We have 1,000 yards, but I'm not supposed to use the 1,000 yard because we're gonna have to lock down this entire firing line, and we have to shoot behind it. And so we really can't do that on a weekday. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the rest of my stuff set up, and then we will start shooting. We have to take a break. If you can see behind me, the fog rolled in, and I don't have visibility beyond 200 yards, and all my steel's at 300 and beyond. I tried to put 2 shots on steel at 300. I could kind of make out the water line that I put on the target. I could have sworn I heard a hit, but when I went out there to take a look after I took 2 shots, there was nothing on steel. So we'll just wait it out. Hopefully, it's 8:10 right now. We got here at 7, and it took us a while to set up. I just put 10 rounds on paper just to validate the zero at 100 yards. But the wind is, I would say it's about 10 miles an hour right now, and it's what's causing the fog to blow through, but we'll see how long it takes before it burns off. Sunrise is at 6, so I don't know, how long it takes for the sun to burn through the clouds. It may or may not, but we'll have to just wait and see. I mean, it took us out 2 hours to get here, so we're just gonna have to wait it out a little bit, and hopefully we can get some rounds down range. as we intended to do.
Now we can, hey Bri, later we can set up over here and we can run and gun in this range over here. Absolutely. And then, yeah, behind this, like we can set up like local targets and we can run and gun there.
Over there is going to be fun stuff.
Yeah.
We don't even need this right now.
Right now, just sighting in rifles. That's what we do, bro.
Thanks.
I'd check it out.
Killing me small.
Wait, 1.5.
Morning, fellas. Hey, this guy's live.
Okay.
Hey, Bri.
Hey, gun bag, back seat. See the gun bag? Huh? The brown? Yeah. This one? Yeah. In that side pocket your hand's on. Thank you. Oh, that's going to go down, dude. Guitar? Yeah, buddy.
Oh, dude, this, yeah, legit.
I brought my 300 win back so you can shoot it.
I did too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So we got the rest out here. We'll set up, after we get everything else out here, we'll bring out the 200 yards and set up a target and see how it works.
Well, we can. Yeah. Play like they have with the second mount.
Just go play. Yeah. Well, is it 100 the second row? Is that 150 into?
No, 200.
Every 100 yards?
Yep.
Okay.
Given the barrel time to cool down, right now we've got 32 rounds expended. We're averaging 26.97, SD of 10.1. We had a few highs and a few lows. The cold bore shot you can see here on the magneto speed, that is 26.69. That's a dirty bore too, though. So it's a dirty bore, cold bore, 26.69. So it's a little bit below our average velocity by a good 25, 26 feet per second at least. Oh, actually 30. So 30 below the average. But we're gonna let the barrel cool down just a little bit. I noticed also that we are at a sort of a shift on our zeros here. I think based on the Kestrel, it's 3/10 lower. I'm shooting 3/10 higher, or sorry, yeah, 3/10 higher than the Kestrel's indicating. So I need to come down a little bit, and so I came down about 2/10 or 3/10 per distance. And I think my 0 out of 100 was off this morning. So I'm going to double check that again. I'm going to shoot a couple confirmation shots at 100.
John, upper right. Okay.
Place on the left. Is that 100 yards or is that closer? The bigger ones on the far left. That's all four of them. And then that's I'm just guessing. I'm trying to cover the red.
Yeah, I just so I use the front sight because it kind of sits right on top of the front sight, iron sight. So you bring it up, and that kind of helps triangulate. So you're right on, and then boom. You are so.
So it's 1.9,
I don't think to be what about a
2.7.
50 and 100, maybe a quarter inch difference if that.
Should we see what this
Wait,
says?
I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm done, baby.
Done? You wanna help me with this?
Yeah,
Hey,
you want to shoot it, John?
I do.
You want to shoot the middle special?
Okay, a little bit left.
That's all right. We'll get to that.
And this one should be
Isn't that crazy?
3.6.
Oh, you want to shoot?
0.9, 2.7, 3.6.
Right there, baby. Nice and light.
I got like a group to the left.
Yeah. I don't know what's.
You're at 100 yards?
Yeah.
Brian,
Yeah,
you're
I
at 100?
just said read that up for me. You can adjust the brightness by 300. And lower left, I think, is untainted.
So moments ago, I adjusted my 0 by 3/10 of a mil. Don't know why I was shooting high from my 0 at West End Gun Club. It is 62 degrees right now. It is, shoot, let me see what the humidity is here. Wow, 87.8% humidity. So let me record this data here. 62, 87%. So I adjusted by 3/10 of a mil, and it does now coincide with the amount of shift I had at 395, 502, and 599, and I think it was 295 for the 300 yards. So it was like 295, 395, 502, 599. I had roughly a 3/10 of a mil difference at every single distance compared to what the Kestrel was saying, which corresponds to that 3/10 of a mil 0 shift. So it looks like the Kestrel's kind of dead on to 600. We should have no problems here with my 0 so far, or my ballistics. Given the data that we have right now, we're pushing about 2696 feet per second with this load that I have here. Again, Berger 144 long range hybrid targets, 42.2 grains of H4350, CCI BR4 with alpha, munitions brass. This is virgin brass, never shot. I did expand the necks of the mandrel though. My first batch that I ran through, I did not, and this one's I did. And I'm going to start. I have actually not been sizing with a mandrel. I've been neck sizing with the outside pushing. And I think this is counterintuitive to what a lot of people are saying that you need to do with as far as controlling your neck size. You should be using a mandrel for your final step to expand from the inside out. So I'll be doing that from now on. But with this new brass, I wanted to get the neck tensions correct because I was pretty sure that the alpha munition brass were a little bit out of round on some of the cases. And you just sort of accept it, seat the bullet, and go for it. But I figure why not just expand the necks a little bit. I only got 12 rounds left, so I might shoot a few more rounds, and then I don't think we're gonna shoot 22 today. We'll just call it a day. But let's go ahead and get a few more rounds and just double check things as far as our ballistics, our dope, or trajectory, whatever.
No questions. I got hit by a crazy. Hang on. Oh, sorry. I went a little far. Why? If he's so sporadic on the rest of them, you gotta use them all. Hey, aim small, miss small, baby. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to aim small. Small adjustments, guys. All right, Johnny, go ahead. Damn, 10 nuts, baby. Come on. Put 2 more right there. Nice, right on the edge. You're like, I'm leaving, dude. You're still, hey.
I packed up all my gear, pulled in on my targets, and I just exited the line. I'm here on the recreational side of the facility just to wind down this range vlog. So it looks like I have a 3/10 of a mil zero shift from West End Gun Club to here based on, I guess, either location and or combination of environmentals, which is quite a bit, to be honest. 3 points of a mil. It's high, but I verified we're good. And so once I made that adjustment, I pretty much got on target here. And sorry, that's kind of loud, but so here are my 600-yard targets at 12. I was basically trying to find early on when I was guessing, hey, I think I have a zero shift. So I think it was telling me what was this, 3.5? I have to go look in my notes. 3.5, 3.6. I think it was 3.6. So I was kind of guessing. I shot 3.6 and it was high. Then I adjusted. I held under just to validate where it was, and then I dialed 3/10 of a mil. So instead of 3.6, I went 3.3, and I was hitting the water line here. Then after I adjusted my zero, my zero stop, confirmed at 100 with a couple shots, then went back to 600 with 3.6 actual. Basically hit the water line twice, and then I shot this off a tripod. I didn't hold right because we have a little bit of a wind out there. It's about 110, 2/10 of a mil right to left wind, but we're on the water line, so we're good. And I guess I can pull my 500 here, try a 500-yard target. And here's kind of the same deal. We're hitting high, and I was trying to adjust and confirming, and then once I dialed, I think it was this one's 2.9, and so I shaved off, went 2.6, and I hit the water line, and I adjusted. After I adjusted my zero stop for that 3/10 of a mil zero shift, I went back to 2.9 actual, hit the water line. We're pretty much making hits here. So I think our zero is good, or our zero is good right now. At least our ballistics are good. So no matter what our zero is, our ballistics, at least out to 600, should be sufficient. We should have no issues here. So I am content with my load, and after I only chronoed 32, 34 rounds or so, and it's still in these conditions it's 26.94, I think. I'll have to go look back in the video when I edit this, but it's pretty much dead on compared to like 60. Today is 61, 62 degrees compared to like 90 degrees at the West End Gun Club when I also checked this, chronoed this load. I think it's not much between 30 degrees with H4350. You're only gaining about 30 degrees, maybe 5 feet per second, 10 feet per second at most, but that's really good compared to Stay Ball 6.5, which I tried out. We were talking 30 feet per second for 30 degrees. So we're sticking with H4350. However, I may get Stay Ball and just use that as kind of like backup, just for range use, because if I know the conditions and I know, hey, my ammo is going to be shooting this slow or this fast in these temperatures. So Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's already 10:44. We've been out here since roughly 6 or so. What time did I get here? 6:30. We got here at 6:30, 6:40. So we've only been here for about maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. I have 5 rounds saved. I only fired 45 rounds, but we've been out here for a little bit. Today's my day off from work. However, I'm going into work at 1700. I volunteered to do the orientation because there's a freshman orientation for new incoming students going on during the summer. So I volunteered to do some of the afternoon ones, and this is the second afternoon session I volunteered for. So even though I got my day off, I am going to go in to work, but definitely going to go home first. Obviously, unload my gear because I can't have this stuff on campus. And then I'm going to at least try to get some of the video imported in and processing so I can head out there. It's like a 3-hour, 4-hour orientation shift, and then I'll head back home in the evening and cut the vlog. And then as far as our match, NRL 22 at the West End Gun Club, that I can't remember the date off my top of my head. I think it's August 27th. Could be wrong. I'm just trying to recall it. However, registrations will open this Saturday because we always open it 2 weeks prior to match day. So 2 weekends prior to match day. So this Saturday, registration should open around noon. So if you're interested in coming out to that match, you can register as early as this Saturday. Anyway, that's it for today, August 10th, here at the West End Gun, or here at the Desert Marksmen Range. I'm so used to saying here at the West End Gun Club. Here at the Desert Marksmen Range in Palmdale. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog.